Hey everyone, welcome back today. So this is kind of a special episode for me. Definitely one of my. This is actually my biggest focus for therapy right now. I'm actually going to therapy for anger. And just learning to be in tune with my body and everything. But welcome back. Um, let's jump right into it. So, how does the old adage go? The best offense is a good defense, or is it the best defense is a good offense? The fact of the matter is, both of these behaviors create offense. Sometimes it's to protect, sometimes it's to project, sometimes it's to deflect, or it might be even to impose our will upon a situation or person. For me, anger has always been kind of a toxic emotion, and I would often suppress it. Just because I wanted to prevent myself from seeing it again. And it turns out that's not a good thing to do. If we suppress our emotions, they create a pool, a residual lake, or even an aquifer of anger. So what do we do with anger? We learn about it. We observe it. And we proactively express it. It's only toxic if we let it be. It can actually be a positive emotional response to self-preservation and sometimes ego preservation. And for those of you that don't know what ego preservation is, it's basically when your social self feels threatened, and if you feel like your standing in a social environment might be compromised by the words or actions of another individual, you tend to freeze up. But anyways, anger it's never alone. It's always on top of many complex emotions, hiding in our subconscious, kind of waiting to strike when we lose control of ourselves in the situation. So we need to look at anger as an iceberg. I've heard this over and over again, but it never stuck with me until now. It is an iceberg. It's built on fear, on ego protection, on subconscious traumas and predictions to situations. But it's never really about the sink full of dishes, is it? It's so much more. And how do we express anger? The only way that we know how to. In the family that we grew up with. They taught us how to express our emotions. Our families teach us how to react to the world and how to just respond to the feelings within our body. Without proper scope of expression, we can never find another way of healthy anger expression. So, something I do want to talk about with anger, there are actually multiple ways to express anger, and that kind of blew my mind, because growing up I'd only seen one kind of anger, and given the circumstances and now that I'm older and I can understand the scope of things, I mean, I get where it was coming from. I get where the behavior originally began. One thing to always keep in mind as a parent, as a child, as a grandparent, you're starting a cycle. But you can also end that cycle. You just have to take the time to approach it, to address it, to heal it, and to move forward. It takes time. Be patient with yourself. I want you to know this is straight from the heart. Most of this video I've been reading a script that I wrote because my memory's terrible and sometimes I kind of ramble and go off on tangents because gotta love ADHD. But I just want you guys to know that, it's okay. You can let go of that guilt, and you can let go of that shame. You can let go of all those feelings. Now that you know better, it's okay. You're doing the best you can with the tools you were given. But if you know better, and you continue to repeat the cycles, without taking the time to learn tools, knowledge, understanding, well, that's the definition of insanity. Sometimes we tend to use anger as a weapon to attack our threats, or a shield to protect our insecurities. For me, anger was both. I would use it to regain control of a situation I felt helpless in, or deflect accusations to protect my ego from the possibility that I had bad judgment or made a poor decision. Instead of a small, healthy expression of anger or boundary development, I would disassociate and repress the emotion. It made me feel sick to be so angry. Not in the moment, mind you, but after all the collateral damage. It would come out so disproportionate to the situation, and so would the things I say. This was always followed by shame and guilt, which compounded the feelings and only fueled the anger. No matter how many times I tried to walk away and cool down, it would always come back 10 times stronger. Why? Because I couldn't feel comfortable expressing my discomfort and disagreement with the situation. I lost control there first. Losing this control would cause me to feel helpless. And when it came to fight or flight, I always fell back into a corner. Never able to approach the situation with tact, but with force. It's time to regain my control. So how do we go about this? How do we cap this volcano? You don't. You can't contain a volcano that is already erupting. But what you can do is watch it. Watch it build. Notice the intensity. Look for the eruption. You can feel the physical symptoms. And you can be wary of the damage that follows after the eruption. Anger doesn't have to be a weapon of mass destruction, but a tool for expressing discomfort with a situation and motivational fuel for change. Ask yourself, how do I want to be viewed when I'm angry? How can I express this in a healthy way? How can I be constructive instead of destructive? First, you have to identify how you express anger and what emotions it's building upon. What are your triggers? How do your thoughts affect your anger? Let down your shield. Let down your sword. If your life is not in danger, it's probably your ego who is amplifying the issue. Put your ego down and listen to it and understand it. And don't argue your point and justify your reaction. Quit justifying the feeling and start observing it so you can understand it better. Anger has always been a detriment in my life. I want to offer an opportunity for education and understanding so it doesn't have to be one in yours. I'm still a novice with my anger management, but someday I hope to master myself and my emotions. And I want you to know that you can too, by just taking the first step today. Remember, you are loved, you are worthy, and you have value. Become your authentic self. And also, hit the like button and the subscribe button. Maybe share it with somebody that might resonate with. Below I have put a couple links down here for a couple YouTube videos that kind of explore a little bit more about anger. Guys, don't be afraid to address it. Because if you don't, it may take away something that you care very deeply for. Thank you guys for showing up today. I appreciate you for being a part of my process, and I hope I can be a part of yours. Thank you.